Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 16th chapter, entitled How Parikshit Received the Age of Kali, text number 35 and 36. Avasaheta viraham purushottamasya premavaloka ruchira smitavalgujalpaye Stairyam samanamaharan madhumaninina Romotsavo mama yadangri vitankitaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from that Supreme Personality of Godhead? He would conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweethearts like Satyabhama by his sweet smile of love, pleasing glance and hearty appeals. When he traversed my earth's surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass, which appeared like hair standing on me out of pleasure. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There were chances of separation between the Lord and his thousands of queens because of the Lord's being absent from home, but as far as his connection with earth was concerned, the Lord would traverse the earth with his lotus feet, and therefore there was no chance of separation. When the Lord felt the surface of the earth, when the Lord left the surface of the earth to return to his spiritual abode, the earth's feelings of separation were therefore more acute. Next verse I'll read by myself. This is the concluding verse, do not have purport. Text 36. Tayor evam katayatoho prithivi dharmayostada parikshinnama rajarshi prapta prachim saraswati. Translation. While the earth and the personality of religion were thus engaged in conversation, the saintly King Parikshit reached the shore of the Saraswati river, which flowed towards the east. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled How Parikshit Received the Age of Kali. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam the conversation between Mother Earth and Bull. So actually Mother Earth personified as the mother cow, and bull is the representation of Dharma. So they were conversing that what would happen now since the Mahabharata war had everything settled, the battlefield of Kurukshetra, it was so ghastly, to enthrone Yudhishthira Maharaj as the emperor, and then Krishna, after achieving his purpose of reducing the burden of Mother Earth, he had actually departed to the spiritual world. And then after he had departed, lot of bad omens, the signs started showing up on the planet Earth, because of which Mother Earth became very sad, and Bull who was trying to stand only on one leg, because the Kali personified had already infiltrated after Krishna had left this planet. And then the conversation, Mother Earth is looking very sad, so Dharma is asking questions, why are you looking sad? And then Mother Earth is not responding, because sometimes when the reason for sadness is so acute, the person who does not want to even respond. So but when the exact cause of his distress is revealed, immediately he actually opens up. So now similarly Mother Earth in today's verse, she is telling the first line, Kavasaheta viraham purushottamasya. Viraha means separation. Separation from whom? Purushottamasya. Krishna is one of the names. Krishna has unlimited names based on his activities, pastimes, and with whom he is connected with his devotees, pure devotees. So one of the names is Purushottamasya, Purusha Uttama. He is considered to be the best of all the men, best among the men, Purushottama. So now Mother Earth is telling who can separate, who can tolerate the separation from such a wonderful personality. So how wonderful is the personality, Purushottama? So Mother Earth, if we go little flashback, the whole purpose of Krishna's appearance on this planet Earth was because that time also lot of difficulties were there. Even though it was, Dwapara Yuga, the kings, unruly kings, the Kshatriyas, the administrative class of people, had actually forgotten the religious principles, and they were not taking care of their subjects. They were so unruly, they had forgotten their religious principles, and they were not following any injunctions which were prescribed in the Vedic scriptures. When such was the situation, to reduce the burden of Mother Earth, so Mother Earth had taken the form of a cow that time also, and she had gone to whom? Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma is the architect of this universe. Based on the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has created this entire universe, and he is the in charge, he is the head of this particular universe. So Mother Earth goes and files a complaint saying, this is my situation, and you have to give some solution. So then Brahma actually feels he is not quite able to give any proper solution to Mother Earth. So then, along with other demigods, they go to the ocean of milk, where Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is there. And then, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave. So, Lord Vishnu, he gives instructions to Lord Brahma. He gives assurance that very soon I will appear in my original form. Who is the original form? Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajani. Who is actually the source of even that Vishnu, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. And then Krishna, in his full potencies and opulences, he had actually appeared on this planet Earth. And once that was assured, Mother Earth in the form of cow, she had actually come back, and then she was very happy, and we know how Krishna appeared. So now it looks like very symbolic, bull representing Dharma, or Mother Earth represented as Mother Cow. So actually everything is ruled by a personality in charge, isn't it? Even within our experience today, what we see is a country is ruled by a president or prime minister, and similarly a factory is owned by one person or a group of people. So nothing, although the impersonal feature is there, that is the impartial understanding. So the owner of a firm need not be personally present everywhere at all the time. But because he had set certain rules and regulations, administration, this is the way it should happen, the system should run. So that means he is actually present also, in a sense. His words are working, his rules and regulations are working. So similarly, this Mother Earth is also personified by one person. And similarly, Dharmaraj, we call Yamaraj, who is one of the 12 Mahabhagavatas also. So he is also actually a person who is having his own system of laws of rules and regulations. By with the help of those rules and regulations, he governs whatever duties are assigned to him by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is actually engaged in discharging such duties. And then we all know how Sri Krishna appeared on this planet Earth. And then he appeared. Where did Krishna appear on this planet? Which part of the earth? He appeared in Mathura, right? So in the prison of King Kamsa, to Mother Devaki and King Vasudeva. So when Krishna had appeared in Mathura, and then he performed various pastimes in Gokul, and he grew up in Vrindavan, then he goes to Dwarka, and then he goes to different places, keep visiting Hastinapur, like that. He was the king of Dwarka. So that is why one of the names of Krishna is Dwarkadish. So he was the ruler, king of the portion called Dwarka. And then when he was doing that, what happens? That time also, devotees used to feel separation from him. Because when Lord is not there in Vrindavan, when he left Vrindavan and went to Mathura to kill Kamsa, that time also we see in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is translated by Srila Prabhupada in Krishna book, how the residents of Vrindavan were feeling intense separation. Like today, Mother Earth is saying, Kava heta viraham purushottamyasya. How one can tolerate separation from the Lord. Because Lord is so wonderful, His qualities are so wonderful. Devotees are actually seeking His association every moment. They want to be, in association with the Lord. Always they want to be with the Lord, serve the Lord, some connection with the Lord. So, but when he had gone to Mathura, the residents of Vrindavan felt so bad. And then finally, when he, after, going to Mathura, he, in his physical form, he never returned to Vrindavan. From there he goes to Dwarka. And then again, when he went to Dwarka, the residents of Mathura were feeling so separation. Because Mathura residents, they were seeing every day Krishna walking on the streets along with his elder brother Balram, with his Gopa friends like that. So now wherever Krishna was there, Krishna's association was available 5,000 years back when he was specifically in that particular space and time, in that particular area, geographical area. But now what happened? Mother Earth was so fortunate, she was so blessed that she was having always association of the Supreme Lord Krishna, Krishna's touch, because either he is in Vrindavan or Mathura or Dwaraka or Hastinapur or some other place, finally he was on planet Earth. So Mother Earth was having always this constant touch of the Supreme Lord. And then, Acharyas have commented, and Srila Prabhupada in different places, Vrindavan is so special. Why Vrindavan is very, very special? Because in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 30th chapter, 10th verse, the gopis of Vrindavan, they are offering prayers to Mother Earth. Oh Mother Earth, you are so fortunate because Lord has descended upon you and you are having the touch of the Supreme Lord. And similarly, not only Krishna, in the past also Vamandev, Varahadev, like this, so many different incarnations of the Lord, they are constantly appearing. So in a sense, Earth is actually never bereft of Krishna's association. And then that is the reason in today's verse, 4th line also says, Romotsavo mama yadangri vitankitaya. So first line was kava saheta viraham purushottamasya. How can one tolerate the separation of the Supreme Lord? And the 4th line is Romotsavo mama yadangri vitankitaya. Romotsava means it is actually the hair standing on end. That means when we experience some great joy, have great happiness, we also experience great happiness and the hairs on our body stands on end. So Mother Earth is saying, Prabhupada is also explaining in the purport that I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass which appeared like hair standing on me out of pleasure. So what we see, grass, trees, plants, they are like the hairs of Mother Earth. They were all actually standing on end because Romotsava, Mother Earth was so happy, very jubilant because Krishna is walking on my body. So Mother Earth is feeling that. And then Yadangri, why? Because Yadangri Vitankitaya. Not only that, lotus feet of the Lord has got certain imprints. So what are the different kinds of imprints on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna? Conch, flag, disc, the fish, the thunderbolt, the gourd. So like this, so many specific signs, symbols are there, wherein Krishna used to walk. So the impression used to get imprinted on the dust of Vrindavan. So another instance where we get to see this particular similar situation is Akrura. When King Kamsa sends Akrura to Vrindavan to bring Krishna and Balaram for this wrestling match. And during the course of wrestling match, King Kamsa had planned to kill Krishna and Balaram. So then when Akrura had gone from Mathura to Vrindavan, moment he reaches the precincts of Vrindavan, immediately he clearly recognizes the lotus feet prints of the Supreme Lord Krishna, and moment he sees that, actually he gets down and pays obeisance. He rolls on that, he worships that. So similarly, Mother Earth actually, she is trying to preserve these lotus feet imprints of the Supreme Lord. So that is why it is even more special. Gopis in that prayer, they are offering. Why Earth is so special? Because Mother Earth is one of the middle planetary systems. We know we have upper planetary systems. The topmost planet is Brahmaloka. the superintendent of this planet who's created this entire universe, and below that Tapoloka, Siddhaloka, different planetary systems are there. And one of the planets is also heavenly planets called Swargaloka. And Mother Earth, actually earthly planet means one of the planet is this particular planet in which we are staying. So like this, so many middle planetary systems are there in that plane. And then below that we have lower planetary systems, or Patala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, so different lower planetary systems. So but when you compare to the heavenly planets and Mother Earth, Earth is actually not that opulent like heavenly planets where King Indra is ruling, isn't it? The bodily features of the denizens of heaven, there are descriptions in Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures, were very great. So they had great abilities, they were so far advanced than the residents of this earthly planet, and they were looking very beautiful. And when compared to that, earthly planet is actually not so great, but still demigods, it is said, they are hankering to take birth on Mother Earth, like great demigods like Lord Brahma himself, Lord Shiva, they are all actually glorifying earth. So why it is? Because Vrindavan is there on this planet Earth. So Krishna, when he comes with his whole entourage and with his friends, with his own place as well. He chooses who should be my parents. So he comes with his own abode also. He carries with him the exact same Vrindavan from Goloka, original Vrindavan. So he has chosen Mother Earth. He has not chosen to have Vrindavan in Swargaloka or in Siddhaloka. He is not having, isn't it? But we have Vrindavan on this planet Earth. That is why this planet Earth is so glorified. So it is that Mother Earth was so fortunate that she was able to have Krishna's abode, like Vrindavan, Mathura and all we have. So that is why it is said, in that prayer they glorify. So the Vrindavan is superior to even spiritual planet, which is Vaikuntha Loka. There are so many innumerable Vaikuntha Lokas, but if you compare Vrindavan, the Vrindavan actually excels all of them. So that is why Mother Earth is again and again feeling that great separation from that Supreme Lord Krishna who had played. And another special feature was Vrindavan, actually Krishna spent first almost 10 years of his life in Vrindavan. So during that time what used to happen, Krishna used to walk bare feet, isn't it? He used to not wear shoes. And in Mathura when he was king, he had to wear shoes. So like that. So different places he used to wear shoes. But when he was as a child, as a baby Krishna, he actually did not wear shoes, and that's how Mother Earth could get that direct touch of the Lord, direct association of the Lord. So that is why in 4th verse Mother Earth is saying Roma Harshita. So Mother Earth is feeling so much happy. She is trying to recollect the past. I was feeling so much thing. Now Krishna has left this planet and he has gone back to his original abode. So because of that reason, Mother Earth is feeling so much separation from the Lord. And apart from that, Mother Earth, that is why she takes on different forms again and again so just like Lord incarnates in different forms to give association to his pure devotees. Mother Earth being one of the pure devotees, Bhudevi, and she also incarnates, like for example we have Andal appearing, who is none other than Bhudevi. And then so when Varahadev had appeared, he had actually personally lifted Mother Earth on his tusks, because Hiranyaksha, he had actually created so much nuisance, being a great demon, brother of Hiranyakashipu. The earth had actually fallen into the Garbhodaka ocean, and then Lord had to personally appear in the form of Varahadev to rescue Mother Earth. How? Through his tusks personally. He had lifted Mother Earth, and then that's how Varahadev. And then, so like this different incarnations have appeared. So similarly, Mother Earth is also taking different incarnations to associate with the Lord. So that is why in the 3rd and 4th line of today's verse, she is recollecting Premavaloka Ruchira Smita Valgu Jalpaihi. So Premavaloka means, Avalokana means glancing. Prema Avalokana means very lovingly glancing the Supreme Lord. Prema Avaloka, and then Ruchira Smita. What is the meaning of Ruchira Smita? It's very sweet smile, very pleasing smile. Ruchira Smita. And Valgu Jalpai. Valgu Jalpai means very sweet talks, very hearty appeals. By doing that, what Krishna used to do? Stairyam Samanam Aharan Madhumani Ninam. So, Lord is having queens like the queens of Dwaraka. He had 16,108 queens in Dwaraka. And he had gopi friends in Vrindavan. So, with them, Krishna used to deal in different ways. So, one is actually Stairyam with gravity, and then Samanam. So, Manam means, it is said, for example, Satyabhama is representing this particular quality, this feature, Manam. So, she is always having this angry mood. So, moment she is dissatisfied with something, immediately she becomes angry at the Supreme Lord. And then Aharan Madhumani Ninam. So, like this, Lord was conquering all of them, he was dealing with them, he was handling all of them, not with great effort. Today, suppose we want to please somebody, we have to endeavor in a great way, and only then that person gets satisfied. But they were already so much pleased with Krishna, Supreme Lord Krishna, and then moment if some dissatisfaction would arise, what would Krishna do? Krishna would not endeavor very hard. His another name is called as Ajita. He is unconquerable. So that Krishna, who is unconquerable, he would actually easily conquer even his own wives, the queens of Dwaraka, like Satyabhama, just by giving sweet glances, sweet smiles, and very wonderful talk. So Krishna's another name is Ajita. That is why he is unconquerable. Krishna not only defeated great demons. In the history, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we get to know so many demons actually came. They all fought with the Supreme Lord Krishna. But none could defeat Krishna. Krishna was always victorious. And at the same time, Krishna is also a very sweet speaker. So that is why when he spoke Bhagavad Gita, which is actually called Song of God, so his instructions are even heard today after so long time, 5,000 years. And even before that, millions of years before, this knowledge was existing. So Vedas, everything came from the Supreme Lord. So those instructions are even being followed even today. So Krishna is all perfect. That is why he is able to deal with any kind of people. For example, so Mother Earth is recollecting this specific instance of Queen Satyabhama, because they were the principal queens, Rukmini and Satyabhama. Now recently we had installed deities in our Chennai temple, Krishna, Rukmini, Satyabhama. We have here also on Hare Krishna Hill. So they were the principal queens. But Satyabhama's this particular recollection is happening in today's verse, specifically because Satyabhama used to get angry at times. She was very sensitive. And then being the number 2 queen of the Lord, so Lord had to deal at times with Satyabhama Devi. But it was very, very easy job for the Supreme Lord Krishna. Just by his sweet smiles, he used to conquer her. And that is why there is a very interesting pastime also in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It comes that how were the dealings of Satyabhama and Krishna. We should quickly recollect that also, which is very relevant in today's verse. And it so happened that we all know how Narad Muni keeps traveling throughout the universe, isn't it? So there are no restrictions for Narad Muni. No one asks for his passport, visa. So anytime, anywhere he can go, because he has got a spiritual body, and then he is actually constantly chanting the Lord's names, Narayana, like that. So that is why Prabhupada says we should always keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So although Narad Muni, he was the son of a maid servant in his previous birth, because he had served pure devotees, because he had gotten this taste of chanting Krishna's holy names, and he followed their instructions, so he actually could attain this kind of status where completely he could freely move around and he actually keeps preaching Krishna's glories and makes devotees. So once Narad Muni happened to visit the kingdom of heaven. He goes to Indraloka. And there, Indra had gifted him, offered some flowers, and then that flower was very special, Parijatha flower. And then he thought, okay, what is happening with my Lord Krishna? How is he dealing, with different 16,108 wives in Dwaraka? How is he handling that situation? He wanted to, he gets curious and he wanted to visit Dwaraka. So Narad Muni visits Dwaraka, and because the most prominent, the palace, for him it looks, because it was Rukmini Devi's, the chief queen among all the 16,108. So he goes to that particular palace and gifts this Parijatha flower to Krishna, saying that it is very, very special. Whomever you like most, you please gift it. So then naturally Rukmini Devi was there only, so Krishna gifts that flower to Rukmini Devi. And then, so Narada has a conversation, he goes to different palaces, and different Krishna is also expanded into that many forms. So in one, so Krishna's activities are all different, in different, each of the palaces. So then Narada Muni goes back. And then this Parijatha flower, because it's not an ordinary flower, it is come from the heavenly planet, it was not withering so easily, and it was so fragrant. So whole of Dwarka was getting this fragrance. And then it so happened that Satyabhama queen comes to know that Krishna has gifted this very special flower to Rukmini Devi. So number one queen, she was the number two queen. So, and then she becomes little envious. Again, Prabhupada says that these are not like material qualities, because they were all expansions of Lakshmi, Srimati Radharani. They were all constant associates of the Lord. But just to show an example how, in this material world, so people deal with, but Supreme Lord, actually for Supreme Lord's pleasure, Yogamaya is setting all these different kinds of pastimes. So then Satyabhama gets a little envious of Rukmini Devi, and she requests for Krishna, I also need that same flower. So then Krishna says, okay, time will come, I will give that. So then it so happens, then we all know that how Krishna goes once to, at another time, to return the earrings of Aditi to King Indra. And then Indra receives Krishna very nicely, because he has come personally with Satyabhama to return back the earrings of Aditi, who happens to be the mother of King Indra. And then King Indra respects him very nice. But then while going back, he sees that very nice fragrance is coming, the same fragrance. So Krishna remembers, okay, I had promised this. So then because Indra was happy, so Krishna wanted to test King Indra also. Now he gave me so much hospitality, now let me see, I'll take something which he is very attached to, and let's see the response. So then this is also again a special pastime where Prabhupada mentions that we should be completely in a position to surrender everything to Krishna. We should should not try to hold back anything. Whatever is required by Krishna, we should actually ready to offer it to Krishna. So then Krishna, when he was planning to take, why only one flower, let me take the entire tree. So then Satyabhama becomes very happy. Oh, I asked for one flower. Krishna is always magnanimous. Whatever we ask for, Krishna always gives more than what we ask for, isn't it? So we have seen in our lives also. So and then she becomes very grateful to Lord Krishna. And then, but who is unhappy? Unhappy is King Indra. And then he fights with Krishna also. So he forgets. Few moments before he had actually offered all hospitality. He respected, worshipped the Lord. But then when it came to take away something, which so-called belongs to him as a temporary owner, who actually real original owner is Krishna, then as a again kind of special pastime, he fights too, and then in the end he gets defeated. And then after getting defeated, Krishna again he is Ajita, so he takes back this particular tree, and then Satyabhama actually plants it in her own personal courtyard, so that every day she can get this flower. Why not only when Narad Muni comes, why she should get? So every day she gets. And then while doing this, another connected pastime was wherein Satyabhama also reveals that no, it was my mistake to hanker or compete in this particular manner. I shouldn't have done that, because of which you had to endeavor so much. You had to go to heavenly planet personally. You had to, fight with Indra, all these things. So she asked for forgiveness. And then another place, Satyabhama was actually willing that to have Krishna always attached to her. So then she asked Narad Muni, this is different, it is described in some Mahabharata and other scriptures. So then he says that yes, you should worship Krishna, and then you should actually perform tapasya, austerities. So Narad Muni prescribes some particular kind of a thing. And then Satyabhama also follows all this procedure. In the end, it comes to donation. Now how much, what to donate? So Narad Muni says that because you want Krishna, you actually you have to donate Krishna himself. And then in return, you should do that Tulavara. That's how that, Tulavara tradition came into existence. So Krishna says that, okay, now you donate to Narad Muni, and then in exchange to that, equivalent of, my weight, you should weigh some things, and then you should, get me back. And then while she was doing that, because she happens to be the daughter of Satrajit, King Satrajit, he was possessing this particular Shamantaka jewel gifted by sun god, which would produce everyday large quantities of gold. So she was very confident. I have so much of wealth. I have this so much of kgs of gold every day. So I can easily exchange in return with Krishna. So then everything was arranged, weighing scale was put on one side, Krishna was sitting, another side, she started putting on the sets of jewelries, Monday set, Tuesday set, Wednesday set, like that, different sets, and whatever stock she had. But Krishna was not even moving an inch. So then she gets bewildered what to do. So then Narad Muni says, no, I have no option now. If you cannot give me equivalent weight, I will take Krishna and go away. So you will not have Krishna with you. So she becomes so bewildered, so scared. And then whatever, she goes to different queens. All the queens also give all their jewelry, but still nothing happens. And then Krishna was, sitting as it is, not even lifted, not even an inch. And then, then Narad Muni says, you have to go to Rukmini Devi, and then you have to request her, she should come personally and put something. Only then the situation can be saved. Otherwise, I am going to take now Krishna. I will auction him for some other person. If he is able to give me, I will sell Krishna to him. So like that. So these are all not transcendental pastimes. And then she goes to Rukmini Devi, requests. Rukmini Devi comes, and like that it is said, she just puts one tulsi leaf, and then immediately Krishna, raises. And then Satyabhama realizes, why Krishna is attached to Rukmini Devi. I mean, these are again transcendental pastimes. So to show that it is not that with the help of our wealth, with skills, knowledge, Krishna is not in need of anything. Actually, Krishna is the source of everything, from whom everything is being gifted to us. So, but what he wants is, he says in Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Whatever we offer, yes, we should offer the best. We should not compromise for some fruits or some leaves or whatever. But again, if it is not with devotion, then there is no value in that. But if with devotion, with full bhakti, with love, if you offer, Krishna actually accepts it. So he reciprocates that. So that was the interesting pastime. So like this, Satyabhama and other queens, gopis in Vrindavan, they used to have different pastimes connected with the Lord. So Mother Earth was witnessing all these pastimes. So when Mother Earth is feeling Krishna is no more living, he has bounded all these kind of wonderful pastimes, and when he's gone back to the original spiritual abode, she is feeling so much of separation. And she recollected this particular pastime which is connected to Madhurya Leela. So similarly in Vatsalya Rasa, Mother Yashoda, Devaki, Vasudeva, Nanda Baba, they all served Krishna in different ways. And then in Sakhya Rasa, Krishna's friends, Gopas, Gopis, they were all actually playing with Krishna. So those pastimes were also recollected. And then Krishna, as Krishna reciprocates with different devotees. Today happens to be appearance day of Bhishma Dev. So he had this particular connection with the Lord in Veera Rasa, the fighting spirit, chivalry Rasa. So he actually relished Lord's form as he was fighting on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Partha Sarathi, he had actually become the charioteer of his devotee Arjuna. What a magnanimous Lord. So he was actually relishing this particular association, and he was shooting arrows. Instead of offering flowers to the Lord, he was actually shooting arrows. And then Krishna was also being pleased fighting with Bhishma Deva. So he is considered to be one of the 12 Mahajanas. So like this, lot of pastimes had happened. And then Mother Varti is specifically remembering this particular Satyabhama's pastime, which happened in Madhurya Rasa. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's purpose of appearing, descending in this material world, is also to show that Madhurya Rasa is the topmost rasa. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appeared, he also descended, just like Krishna. So Krishna's first expansion was elder brother Balaram. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came with Nityananda Prabhu and Panchatattva. Yesterday, Advaita Acharya's appearance day, and then Gadadhar Pandit, Srivasa, like that. So different associates. So one of the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, just like Krishna had associate as, Satyabhama as his associate, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had one devotee, Jagadananda Pandita. So the dealings between Jagadananda Pandita, who is a pure devotee of the Lord, who wanted to serve the Lord always, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also similar. So that is why it is said that they were actually incarnation. And then there is a very nice pastime which happened. One of the pastimes which comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita is, once Jagadananda Pandita had bought very fragrant oil to be applied to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being a very strict sannyasi, he would not accept any costly items or items which are not supposed to be used by a sannyasi and all that, to set very high standards. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not accepting that, but Jagadananda had actually personally made a particular sandalwood oil so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will accept it, and then it has very cooling effect. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu applies, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he used to go to ecstasy, he used to not see whether it's a mountain, it's a ocean. Just he used to see Krishna saying, Jagannath. Last few years in Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent like this. So it will have a very relieving effect on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, thinking that he had personally extracted this oil and he had bought. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not at all accepting. He tried again and again. He tried through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's assistant, different channels here, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not accepting. And then finally he goes personally, this is the last time I'm asking you, please accept, my dear Lord. He says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, I cannot accept. Better you offer to Lord Jagannath, he will accept it. So then because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused to accept, Jagadananda Pandita immediately right in front of him, throws that bottle of oil and breaks everything. And then he goes into a room, he shuts the door and he sits. So 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, he would not open the door, so he wouldn't eat, he wouldn't sleep. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very sad. Whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to see his devotees are, in distress situation, he also naturally used to feel very bad. So then he goes and then tries to convince, plus you please have prasadam, you take rest, I will accept some other gift from you some other time. He convinces somehow. So he says, you should actually cook for me today and I will eat, because you are a very expert cook and you offer to Jagannath, and then I will have it as prasadam. So then he becomes very happy, Jagadananda Pandit, because devotees are always hankering for more and more services from the Lord. So then he had this opportunity to cook for the Lord and serve the Lord. And then Jagadananda Pandita, he cooks lot of items, so huge quantity, varieties of dishes, very tasty. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he starts serving. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sitting, he starts eating. Now he sufficiently already had eaten, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is fearful to say, okay, enough, I don't want to accept more. Again Jagadananda Pandita will become angry. So he continues to keep serving. And then it is said, Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already eaten what 5 people would eat, that kind of quantity. Still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, no, it's so delicious, very nice, amazing, Jagannath's mercy is there on you, you are such a nice cook, Radharani's blessing is there, so like that. And then Jagannatha Pandit used to eat and get encouraged more, and then he used to serve more. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going, and then it is said, 10 people's quantity already finished, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now he thinks, now beyond this is not possible, because he was the Supreme Lord. Jagannath eats so many times. So then Jagannatha said, no, you should eat more. Jagannatha is again getting angry. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is again fearful, if I stop, he may again go and lock up in the room. So then he is not stopping. Then finally he says, no, that's it. So then Jagannatha Pandit also becomes happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has nicely, sumptuously had eaten. And then, they all take remnants. He gives to his assistant Govinda, like that. So these were the very nice, pastimes of the Lord. Even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he appeared, similar exact pastimes what Krishna had in different locations with different devotees, different kinds of devotees in different rasas. So he all manifested as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is why not only Mother Earth, there are any pure devotee who separates from the Lord actually feels intense pain, intense miserable conditions. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said, Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishyayitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. By becoming bereft of Lord Krishna's, Govinda's association, Yugaitam nimeshena, one moment is looking to me like Yuga, means so many number of years. And then chakshusha pravishyayitam, through my eyes torrents of rain are coming, because somebody is very sad, they cry very heavily. So shunyaitam, this world is appearing to me just like vacant, there is no meaning. Govinda virayana, he said. So devotees in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswamis, the Shad Goswamis, about them also it is said that they used to also walk in Vrindavan, they used to excavate places, different places of pastimes in Vrindavan as instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hey Radhe Vraja Devi Kech Lalita, Hey Nanda Suno Koto. So like that they used to constantly keep searching. So we have to worship and remember always, this is the instruction of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also. Man manabhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this Kirtaniya Sadahari, by constantly chanting his names, Krishna's names, and we will be able to associate with the Supreme Lord. So, and then Srila Prabhupada also exhibited many of such ecstasies also, and he also recollected that he actually met his Guru Maharaj hardly a few times, but then he actually, although felt separation at times, but he was not separated because he was trying to follow his instructions. So he was following his instructions as to his best capacity, as much as possible. So because of that, Prabhupada actually exhibited one very interesting pastime. This pastime recollected by one of the devotees who happened to be there with Prabhupada when Prabhupada left this planet in 1977. So this was one day before, this devotee is recollecting, this particular incident happened one day before Prabhupada left this planet. The last time I heard Srila Prabhupada speaking was the night before his disappearance. I think it was around early evening, and we were listening to Prabhupada speak to Swarup Damodar about life comes from life and not through a combination of chemicals. And then Srila Prabhupada said, the scientists, they cannot understand that life is coming from life. And then he said, so Prabhupada, even though he was, for a few months, he had stopped eating any solid food, little Charanamrita he was taking, and even in that condition he had become so thin and such so-called painful situation, he was actually completely aware, he was completely detached from his material body, he was aloof from all these pains and pleasures of this material world, and this is what he was actually discussing, although he could not clearly speak, loudly speak, he had not had even that kind of energy to speak loudly. So but he was discussing that, these concepts which throughout his life he had actually propagated. So Prabhupada is saying, they cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. So he is referring to scientists who claim that life comes from some chemicals and not from life. They cannot understand that this verse Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati. They cannot understand the Brahma Bhuta personality, that he is experiencing happiness from within. That even though his body is completely destroyed, he stressed, destroyed. He is in ecstasy. And then he said, it is very important what Prabhupada is saying now, that scientists actually they cannot appreciate because they have not surrendered to Krishna, they are not ready to accept Krishna's words. So they will never understand and they will never realize also. So this kind of happiness. And then Prabhupada said, I am that Brahmabhuta personality, and that is the last thing Prabhupada said. So Prabhupada actually exhibited that he is a Brahmabhuta personality. And Brahmabhuta, who is a Brahmabhuta personality? Krishna is telling, Brahmabhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kangshati. So he was never bereft of anything. So Lord actually always takes care of him. He is never hankering after something, and he is not, after losing something, he is under pain. But still he hankers after Lord's association every time. So that is why it is said, Mother Earth also is teaching that when we are in hale and healthy, in good condition, when we have this ability to serve the Lord, remember the Lord, and follow Lord's instructions, if we have this opportunity and we make the best utilization of that, then actually we can relish towards the end of our lives, is what it says. And then yes, these were the few things. And then Krishna also gives like this so many instructions in Bhagavad Gita. That's why Prabhupada always stressed we should read as much as Bhagavad Gita, so that we will also come to this Brahmabhuta platform. So quickly to summarize, so we started off discussing with Mother Earth prayers, and then everything is a person oriented, although impersonal, the aspect is there. But these are all personalities. These are not just mythology, so-called peoples, they use this word mythology. These are not myths. These are all real history which happened 5,000 years back, and the same thing which happened during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time 500 years back, and then Prabhupada actually showed around 50 years back. So these are all not just theory, they are actual facts, very scientific things. And then why earth is very special? Because Vrindavan was part of that. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Bharat Bhumi te Manusya Janmayar Janma Sartak Kari Karo Paropakar. So Bharat Bhumi, actually it was referring to earlier like Parikshit Maharaj, he was ruling the entire world. So even in our own experience we have, few years back Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, they were all considered as one single country. Then after few years, this splitting thing started. Now we don't know in future what would happen. So like this, it is actually referring to this earth, and especially as Indians we should take this up thing. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching, he practically came as a devotee to show and implement all the instructions given by Krishna, what is said in Bhagavad Gita. And then Srila Prabhupada, being the commander-in-chief of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's army, he actually showed practically all these things. So if we follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions, then it is as good as we are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction, which are not different from Lord Krishna's instructions himself. So we come to the conclusion of this particular chapter, and next verse it says is, while the earth and the personality of religion were thus engaged in conversation, the saintly king Parikshit reached the shore of the Saraswati river, which flowed towards the east. So most of the rivers, they start, the tributaries of Ganges and all that, Ganga, Saraswati, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri. So all the prominent purifying rivers, they were actually flowing, and then to the east. This particular discussion between Mother Earth and Bull was happening, and that was the time when then Parikshit Maharaj comes. And then we will see in the next chapter how Parikshit Maharaj punishes and rewards the personality of Kali. So that we will see in the next classes to come. So if anyone has any question, we can discuss for another 4 to 3 minutes. Yeah, you had one question. Only one question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Prabhu, actually when Lord Krishna was present 5,000 years ago, he was personally present in front of Arjuna and he got instructions one-to-one. And when Srila Prabhupada was there till 1977, devotees could get personal association and they could reciprocate one-to-one. Now that they are not there, this pure devotee Srila Prabhupada, Supreme Lord Krishna, how do we get that same?
So personally, Lord is there in the form of Bhagavad Gita, his instructions, Vani and Vapu. So there is no difference. So by following the instructions given by Krishna, we can associate with Krishna. And then by following the instructions of Prabhupada, we can personally associate with Prabhupada by reading Prabhupada's books, Bhaktivedanta purports every day. So that is the way Prabhupada actually stressed, yes, Vapu Seva is important. That is why he has given deity form, where we can do offer personal seva in the form of deity. But more important than that is the instructions, Vani, the following the instructions given by Prabhupada. So that is why when we do that, immediately he is pleased. And when he is pleased, because he is Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastra, he is to be considered as Krishna himself. And once he is pleased, Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasada, Krishna is also naturally pleased. So in that way, we are pleasing directly. So there is no difference between when they were physically present. So that time also devotees were pleasing them. Now also devotees are actually pleasing them. And the devotees are feeling the reciprocations also. So that way there is no difference. Although grossly it may appear like there is some kind of difference. Okay. Acha, Nishkama Seva. So Seva has got different shades. So there are varieties of, there are, just like Lord's incarnations are unlimited, Lord's Sevas are also unlimited. So now, because devotees are also of unlimited style, gradations, they all are, because it's a evolution, spiritual evolution, it's a spiritual journey. So different jivas are advancing, they are at different levels, stages. So according to his stage, he actually offers seva to the Supreme Lord. The topmost seva is completely Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam. So that is actually pure devotional service. So that is what Prabhupada is offering to all of us. So but whatever degree we offer, E yathamam prapadyante tam stataya bhajami. Krishna also reciprocates accordingly. Just like somebody offers 50% for Krishna, 50% for me. So business, so it's a kind of business transaction. So Lord also accepts so much and he reciprocates accordingly. But if somebody is offering 100% to Krishna, then he reciprocates accordingly also.
In which seva, Jnana, Bhakti, Dharma will exist?
So Prabhupada himself gives this analogy, opening schools or hospitals, doing charity. It is all good. It's very nice. But ultimately, whatever benefit we are trying to give to that person, that is only till this particular body is there. So ultimately, it's a fact that one day all of us have to give up whatever body we are having one day, and we have to go to the next body. We have to go and accept some other body based on the activities what I have done and cumulative activities in the past life. So now if I do something for the soul, so that particular kind of service will be with that jiva life after life. So the best seva service to be done is actually to give him the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada also gives beautiful analogy for that. So just like a very rich father is there, and somehow the son is lost. The rich father's son is lost, and then the son is wandering and he is trying to beg from different people. So different people are helping him. Okay, they're calling him, giving him some food. It is all very good. He is falling sick, there's somebody is treating. But the best service, the best relief one can give to that boy who is lost, who is separated from his father, is to give the address or personally take him and leave to his father. Okay. So then by doing that, naturally all his problems are solved and father is also happy. So Lord is also happy, the jiva who were separated, they are also happy. So that is the best seva. So the best seva is to give this knowledge of Krishna consciousness, and in the process of cultivating this knowledge of Krishna consciousness, there is an aspect of practical devotional service, that is why bhakti means devotional service, Prabhupada translates. It's not that just philosophy we hear and that is the end of it, no. So this jnana should get translated to vijnana, practical action. So and that action is what? Very pleasing. So it's a step-by-step evolution.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. One more question, somebody? Yeah, last question. You can ask without mic, it's okay.
Like in present times, when you are doing some devotion, people would know, your parents would know, and if they don't agree with it, they would criticize you, make fun of you, and you are not that strong like Prahlad Maharaj that you can not criticize your parents. Of course, you would fight with them. So how can we overcome that?
Yeah, so thing is, yes, definitely because this is the kingdom of Maya. That is why Durga means it's a fort. So now Durga Devi feels, she's losing one customer. She wants to try everything to retain that particular jiva. But because that is the service assigned, unless somebody is completely pure, so she does not want to send it to Krishna and create nuisance, create disturbance to Krishna. So that is her assigned service, thankless task, like some departments in this material world, she is doing that. But definitely Krishna also has given solution. Daivi esha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mameva prapadyante mayametam tarantijate. So moment we sincerely, in the core of our hearts, we decide to surrender to Krishna in whatever way. Need not be that everyone should give up everything and completely go to some Himalayas or this kind of thing. That is not the way. Devotee's definition is very broad. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said you can practice bhakti in different levels. So now whichever is most suitable for you, that particular thing, you can get in touch with devotees who are practicing, and you can take a call. Staying in whatever profession or position, we can actually, but yes, once it is said that sometimes when we start practicing bhakti, there are a lot of challenges start appearing. So that is for only temporary time. If we continue to stick to the principles, then naturally it is just like exams come. It's not that the purpose of exam is to make students fail. No, it's to make them more strong, so that they'll have a very bright future. So similarly, that is the thing. And then if we stick on to the principles, take some practical guidances from the devotees who are already Guru Sadhu Shastra, that is why the checklist. So then it becomes very easy, and assurance, it is a guaranteed success in life. So we'll stop here. If any more questions, we can take it offline. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Prema.